Welcome to the Diverse Recruiting Continuity, Building a Diverse and Inclusive Workforce Virtually. I'm Cody Horton, your host. I've been the founder and managing director for Diverse Recruiting Experts and spent the last couple of decades working in recruiting on strategy and working with virtual teams, and thought we'd share a little bit of information today that'll help you move forward with your diversity recruiting efforts, especially in this time where you've got so many people who are on distributed teams and working remotely and virtual. I did want to share this quote with you from Andrew Carnegie. It says, "Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward the organizational objectives. It's the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results." And we're certainly seeing that this is a relevant quote today as we move forward with all the challenges that we're having. Today, what I'm hoping to cover with you and share, talking a little bit about the benefits of having a remote workforce. Some of you are experiencing that now. Also going to talk a little bit about the challenges of that remote workforce. Want to share some things that can help you as you align your talent goals to your business needs, and even talk a little bit about how you might have to revisit the values and competencies that you hire to and that you measure your performance with your teams to. Want to have you take a little time and think about how you visualize the workplace that you want to see. And one of the keys is your ability to expand your geographic reach and reach more talent and broaden your diversity perspective as you move forward in this new normal. Also going to share some things around how you use a digital workforce and how you can foster a digital workplace. And then I want to talk about remote training, or remote hiring, and leadership decision-making when you're not face-to-face. I also want to encourage you, if you have questions, put those in the Q&A section. We're going to address those questions as we go through, and then we'll also have a question and answer period at the end. So what are some of the benefits and challenges of having a diverse workforce? Right now, most of us are living this. Some of the benefits are the reduced need for costly office space. It's also a huge benefit is just the amount of time that people aren't spending on a subway or on a train or in a car commuting to and from the office. If you do the math and you add up all the time that you spend traveling back and forth to work, it's amazing what you'll see if you just do that by week. There's also a benefit of working remotely. People are seeing increase in productivity, and they're seeing the ability to make the work that they're doing be more impactful and count more. You also have the opportunity for a better work-life integration, and you are able to reach that broader talent pool that you might not have been able to reach had you have everyone come into the office or relocate or just be on site face-to-face. There are challenges associated with this, and a number of people, I've talked to people that are experiencing this. One of the big challenges that face companies is, how do you maintain the current culture that you have by having a virtual workforce? How do you build a community and make sure that people are able to work together face-to-face in that face-to-face collaboration? There are challenges with time zones. If you've got a multinational global company, or you've got a company that crosses multiple time zones, there are challenges with that. There's also then this is probably one of the biggest ones for the individual, is how do they engage with their peers, and how do you stop feeling like you're isolated and by yourself? There are also the distractions that you might have if you have a home office and you weren't set up for doing remote work. And then there's the piece, and this is the key to teams, is how do you build trust with your teammates and with other people? So we're going to share a little bit of information that maybe will allow you to take away one or two tips, and certainly look forward to your questions. So one of the big things that you want to take into consideration from the business perspective and your team perspective is making sure you're aligning your talent goals to the business goals. Every company is going to think about the specific goals that they have, but here are some things that you might consider. Making sure that those are clear goals and that those goals are communicated across the organization so that everyone understands those goals. Make sure you've set measurable outcomes. I mean, people talk about SMART goals. It's more important now to ensure that those goals are clear. People understand how they're measured. You want to know what's the impact that you want to have with each goal. Maybe it shouldn't be a goal just because it's always been a goal. The other thing is having collaboration goals and setting up those goals that how do people work together? How do they get things done? It's because the need for team engagement is so much more critical than it might be if you could walk down the hall and be face to face with your colleagues. Communication goals, set frequency of communication. What's the cadence going to look like? What channels are you going to use for communication? Can you over communicate and saturate your team with too much email or too many other tools? And then making sure that those goals align with what the business is trying to accomplish.